Hi everyone, Carolyn here from Indigo Bluebirds. I'm going to make a card today using the Vivid inks. I've got olive green and I'm going to use English mustard. So I plan to do, I don't know what size that is. It's I think it's, let's see, it is nearly 13 centimeters by 18, nearly 18 centimeters. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make something then that's maybe a little bit ATC size to fit in this corner here. So let's decide. An ATC is 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches. So let's cut. In fact, I'm not going to cut this first because we'll just do the technique first on here, then before we decide, because then I can decide which bit I'm going to use of that. So I've got a plastic bag and I've got my water spray bottle, and I'm going to use the olive green kind of on here. And all I'm going to do, these bottles are good because they've got a squeezy top, a pipette type dropper. So I'm just going to put some drops of the ink onto my plastic bag, give it a spritz, and then I'll just give it a wiggle. I'm going to put that place down on my card, and then I can just move my finger on the back of that just to move that about, and then lift that up and keep placing it down then. So it's probably best to dry this in between. Let's have a look, see if this is on. Let's see if it's going on. I just want it quite pale. I'm not going to add too much. Also, you can dab this to lift some of the ink off. So if I didn't want as much ink there, it's probably best with a tissue rather than my cloth, because my cloth's a bit dirty, so I'm not sure that I'm going to pick up any of the bits on my cloth. Let's try that again. That's dry, but I've got a little bit of ink on here still, so I'll just press that again. I think I'm going to add a bit more. Let's give it a spritz. And down here. One side. You can also lift the ink off if you had maybe some water on a stamp. Spray the stamp with water and then let me try it. Let's try it with, I've got these handy. A little, let's spray that. See if this works. See if I've got enough water on. Let's press that down. Just leave it a few seconds. Right, we'll let that will just do its thing. Have I got tissue? Where's my tissues? I just have to get a tissue. But leave this a little time to activate. So if I just get my tissue now and then dab that, you can see here there the faint outline of that stamp. I'm going to dab that because I don't want it too dark for what I'm going to do next. Let's just dry that off a bit. So now I just need to decide which bit of that I'm going to cut out to put on my card. So let's see, I would have let's get a piece of card, and where's my, never have anything to hand. Let's get a ruler. So an ATC is 2.5. I probably don't want it that big, so let's say 2 inches by 3 inches. That's rough. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that out. To create a window. It's just to give it an idea of kind of where you're going to place or where you want to cut the piece of paper. Let's cut that out. Okay. So now we've got a frame. Let's put this back. So now you can see where you want to place that. I'm not sure I want that in the background, but I like this effect here. I might even put it that way round. Or that way round. Because I do want some white space on it. So I quite like that. And if I put something here, then it's not going to cover up that bit there. Okay. So I'll just get my pencil. So I'll just take that over there a little bit, put a line there. Let me get my guillotine. If you did your frame a little bit bigger and drew around it, then you could just cut it up then based on that. Put that to one side because I might use that in a minute. And then I'm going to use this at 2 inches. And I'm going to cut that. Now you can see on this is a 3 inches mark here, so I think that's about right. So that's my bit of card then that's going to go on here like that, and then I'll have things that overlap and come off the edge of that so that it's not just kind of bunched in that corner. Okay, so next I'll do, what are these? A bit of background stamping. Let's have a look. So I do like text stamps, Dinky Script, the Matrix, kind of tend to be my go-tos, and this one, Grungy Little Circles, and I do like the numbers as well, so it's a bit random. So we'll do some, let's see, we'll do some text, but I don't want this to be dark. My stamp's not particularly clean, but we'll see what this is like. I can stamp it onto this bit of card first to see what it looks like. That's okay. I'm just going to stamp this freehand. Oh, that's Henry in the background. Someone's walking past. Okay. Right, so I've got a bit of text. Put that to one side. That was with Versifying Clay Sand Dune. I've also got Versifying Clay, Shady Lane and Verdant. I don't know what these are going to stamp like. We'll try it on. It might be a bit bright, this one. Oh, it's not too bad. Let's try that one. Oh, that's dark. Okay. Right, let's stamp the circles with this. And what we can also do is we can extend that wherever we're going to put this here. If I was to just add a bit on there, so I could go there, a bit here perhaps, and then maybe something down here in there. So you can extend the stamping then behind. Okay, put that to one side. And then, what else am I going to put on there? We'll stamp some let's see, Foliage from, this is my stitched Foliage stamps that I created these on the sewing machine. They were quite big when I created them, and then Kay has kind of shrunk them down and created a stamp set with them. So I'm really pleased with them. Kind of, so we'll use this one. And that one there, I'm probably going to do the darker stamp, I think. Let's see. Yeah. Let's do. I think I'll put that. Oh, that looks nice. And then I've also got let's see, I did some ATCs for the Indigo Blue Swap. So I'm using the similar things that I did on my ATC. So I've also used the flower. See that circle's a bit big. Let me get my circle punch. That's better. But these are quite useful as well. Stamp this with a green. I was going to use the yellow ochre as well, but it might just be different variances of green. So that's my green stamp. And then I've also got some black circles. Probably do smaller, cut them up. And then for my focal image, I did the tulip from the Tulip Bouquet, and I did this one. This is exclusive to one of the box kits, but I can't remember which one it is. So I just used kind of this tulip. Let's just put those to one side. And we can use this piece of card then to create the tulip. So I just want to ink down to this stalk, because I want to kind of extend that down. So let's just rub off some of this ink here. I'm not too bothered about the leaf because I'm going to cut it out. And then we place our card. So I want to get some of this bit on my flowers. If I just kind of put my fingers there. And then all I'm going to do is just rub where the flower is. Yeah, that's quite nice. That looks like one of the, I think it's spring green, the tulip. That's nice, but you could also darken it by adding some more ink. So let's cut that. So what I'm going to do is I'll just cut this out, but I'm going to extend the stem. I'm just going to cut that down. And the stem is not particularly thick, but it there we are. Let's move those out of the way. So that's my tulip. Let's see, so if I just get this. I've also got these, but I think these were from a Tim Holtz set. Can't quite remember where these came from, but I've got lots of little pockets of things. Let me show you these. I've got a box full. So bits and pieces that I've cut out, saved. I think there's some. That's an All and Create one, that one. This is one I've just watercoloured some leaves. This is some tape then that's got I've used Luscious Through a stencil kind of there on that tape, so that can be cut up and used. But all bits and pieces of card, paper, stamps, all sorts, tissue paper, maps. And then I've also got, these are the indigo blue ephemera set. So I've got lots of things then that are in little wallets in a box that I use from time to time. So this one here, let's just get the plastic out again, and then let's put some of the green, give it a spritz, and then we'll just dab that into it. Yeah, I don't want. Okay, so that's one. I quite like these leaves as well. Move that onto the. We just try these. Oh, I've got stuff all over. So now we've got this bit. We could add kind of a bit of black to give a bit of definition for the back of there. I did use some lace on the ATCs, Yeah. That's another box to get out, perhaps. Right, I'll put this handy. See. Oh, I started pulling that and I didn't realise it was that long. This, which goes nicely with the green. So we can cut a bit of that off and put that on. Okay, and what else have we got? Let's move that out of the way. We could stamp on these. With some text, perhaps. Let's use a bit on that. Okay, what else am I going to put on there? My black. I think that's it. Just like that. So let's get my card. Because what I could do is I could put these kind of behind it. Put one behind. I think I'll put that there and that there. This is going to go on here and then staple this to this flower. We can add a bit of green to the stem. Just go around the edges. A bit more definition for the edge. Okay, so let's start building this up. I'm going to glue this first, but I only want the edge. That's just going to go on the edge there. This then is going to go here. We'll glue that down. Glue that there. I need to put this bit off here. Move that out of the way. Put a little bit of black. I think that could go up there. Yep. Get another. It's easier to put it on your hand. Get hold of this. that on my hand, pick that glue up. So I think that's going to go there. Get another piece of clean card. Because my fingers are probably dirty. And then that can go there. Oh look, I've got a mucky mark there now. Oh gosh, can't keep anything clean. My tulip is going to go here, so I want to staple that on. Let's see. Oh, there's Henry again. Do I want to put the ribbon on first? Let's see. Do I want to put that? No, put that on after. One, two, three. I'll just cut that off there. I don't want it. Okay. So I need to think about getting rid of that mucky mark. Maybe I could have another leaf coming across. Or behind. It doesn't quite look right there. Not sure. Maybe I could just add some stamping. Let's see. Let's add some text. Let's line that up. I don't know how dirty this stamp is. We could do that with this one, the sand dune one, so that fits. Need to re-stick the back of that. Okay. It's not really sand dune because it's got black in the back of it. It wasn't particularly clean stamp. But it might just detract from. I think I need to put some over this side. Maybe this stamp needs a good clean. Leave that one out. Give that a clean. I could do. What else do I want to put on there now? Have a look. Oh, my ribbon. I wonder if that could go at the front there, perhaps. Does that detract too much from the flower? Maybe if I do that, cut that off there. goes there, that could go at the front. And then add, let's say, some ribbon. I don't know which is the right and the wrong side. That's probably the right side. Add a bit of ribbon. I don't want a huge amount. I like the fact that it's fraying. Let's stick this down because I can't. I work in thirds generally, so that needs to have 1/3 there and 2/3 that side. Everything looks better in odd numbers. Let's see if that I'll go there. I need some fresh glue on my hand. Enjoy picking that off. Although this might be easier just to put some dabs on. Place that. It's not too bad. And then we'll have maybe the ribbon coming across there. I didn't really want to cover up the staple, but it's a relatively quick card. Let me got a piece of paper so I can show it better. There's a clean piece. It might be nice to add some just some edging. Let's see, got a fine line. See how fine this is. Yeah. So we could go around the edge of this, but then let's do a wiggly line on here. And then to make that more cohesive with the other paper, the other card, then I usually put my little finger on the edge of the card and then hold kind of the pen and then just go wiggly, and then you get kind of, oops. It's quite even then. Let's do a line. Just conscious of doing that on there. There we go. There's a card. Using the new olive green Vivid ink, the Shady Lane, Verdant. I didn't use any black in the end, and Sand Dune. So I hope you like that. If you do make anything with kind of my Stitch Foliage stamp set, do share it on the Indigo Blue group Facebook page, or tag in Indigo Blue HQ in your posts, and yeah, enjoy your day. Thanks for watching.